Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! News, where the news comes last and the weather comes later. When I first saw this card, I thought we'd get a 7 Skull Link monster, but that's a slightly different blue than Ritual. This is Advent Skull Archfiend, a Summon Skull Ritual monster. You can Ritual Summon it. It's level 6. It has the same stats as Summon Skull as you could expect. You can Ritual Summon it with Contract with the Abyss, which is a very interesting thing, because usually, especially in the early days, you had a specific Ritual spell for a specific Ritual monster. For example, for Blackluster Soldier, you had Blackluster Ritual. For Relinquished, you had whatever that was called, I don't remember. But there was a specific one, a revival of Dakura Rider for Dakura Rider, burger recipe for Hungry Burger. But this is not a specific one. Now, sure, you can be like, oh, this one could summon any Gishki ritual monster. Summon Skill has a different kind. It has an already existing one in Contract with the Abyss. One that could be used to ritual summon any dark ritual monster. And if you have an already existing dark ritual monster that has a specific ritual spell, I believe Dakura Rider is an example I can use of this, then you can also use Contract with the Abyss instead of that specific ritual spell to summon it. Now, Advent Skull Archfiend changes that in where it can only be summoned via Contract with the Abyss, and I guess still other things that allow you to bypass the exact ritual spell listed. But that is an interesting thing to see, that this thing that usually is the bypass to summon the monster is the one that's listed on the card itself. You have Advent Skull Archfiend, which looks really cool, by the way. I really like the artwork. Its name becomes Summon Skull while on the field, but it's still treated as an Archfiend card. That last part is important because Summon Skull is an Archfiend card. Like Daemon or Shokan or something like that is a Japanese name. That's important because, well, when Summon Skull was translated to English, Archfiend wasn't an archetype yet. That came during the GX days, and Summon Skull got the extra text, just like with other cards like Acts of Despair. This card is always treated as an Archfiend card, so this card should still always be that, even if it's named Summon Skull, because that's still a Daemon, an Archfiend. This specific Summon Skull thing is important for cards that specifically list Summon Skull. For example, Black Skull Dragon, the fusion monster, requires Summon Skull as a fusion material, and Advent Skull Archfiend would, under Advent Skull Archfiend, not be able to be used as fusion material, but as Summon Skull, which it's treated as on the field, it can. Also, for Makyu the Magical Mist, it requires either Thunder type monster or specifically one Summon Skull you control, and because it's treated as Summon Skull, that's how it can happen. It can't be destroyed by battle except with the ritual monsters, that's kind of interesting. Can't be destroyed by monster effects except by ritual monsters. And if it's sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, by battle or card effect, you can special summon an actual Summon Skull from hand, deck, or graveyard. So that is a pretty interesting card, I guess, because of the nostalgia, like the sort of a retrain of the Summon Skull. I do want to use it in some kind of deck and some kind of duel. I'm not sure where yet. There's a lot of cards I would like to use. And Advent Skull Archfiend is just one of them. What do you think of this card? Can you come up with any strategies you can use this card in? Do you just want to use it for the sake of nostalgia because Summon Skull was such a cool card back in the original series anime? And what do you think of the artwork? I absolutely love this artwork. It is amazing. That was the Yu-Gi-Oh video for today. Good night and good news.